So if you guys are ready, let's begin the session. I think today the number seems to be quite low. Okay, but don't worry, let's see. Maybe due to the adverse weather conditions outside, it seems to be quite low number. Maybe chilling weather, people might have just been relaxing. All right, guys, so just let's move on. I'll share the screen with you, just stay on. For those who are capable of watching it live on YouTube also, you may check it out as I'm doing it live on YouTube, okay? So no problem at all. Maybe yes, I'm also sharing the link here for those who are interested. May come on YouTube also. You can check this out, okay? Yes, that's the live streaming link I'm sharing with you. You can also do that. Stay tuned. I'll share the screen with you. Yes. So I hope you're able to see my screen very clearly. Yes. As we continue the discussion of these papers, if you have any questions, do shoot me, or your answers also can be attempted on your chat board. Fine, here we go. Markets like Janpath and Connaught Place have lots of shops selling very trendy clothes. So this is all about replacing the italicized part of the sentence with a better option on the right side. Am I clear? So check out in the question, the part of sentence is italicized. Alternatives to the italicized part are given, which may improve the construction of the sentence. Select the correct alternative. So improvisation of the sentence, especially the highlighted part of it. So which do you think fits in the best here? Have lots of shops selling, have many number of shops selling, have a lot of number of shops that were selling, no improvement needed. Well tried, Sama and Kaveri D and Vinjam. Good. Yes, the perfect answer here is option A. Okay, markets like Janpath and Connaught Place have lots of shops selling very trendy clothes. Have a lots, Kadu, it should be have lots of clothes selling. Have a lots, Kadu, remove A, actually A needs to be removed from there. So have lots of shops selling very trendy clothes. Okay, so that is option A. Moving on to next question. Everyone need to understand. So this question is all about spotting the error. Which part of the sentence has the error? We need to find out. Everyone need to understand that it is important to respect one's parents. So which part of the sentence do you think has the error? Part A, part B, or part C? Come on, post your answers. Which part has the error? Part A, part B, or part C? Yes, people are posting that the error is in part A. What is the error? Can someone tell me? Fantastic, Sama. Very good. Everyone need to, Kadu. It should be everyone needs to. Remember the rule under subject verb agreement. Everyone, someone, no one. Okay. Somebody, everybody, they always take singular verbs, which means everyone needs to. It is not everyone need to. Moving on to next question. A tie is a very important part of formal dressing for every man. So this question is also for spotting the error. So which part of the error has the error? Which part of the sentence has the error here? Option A, B, C, or option D, no error. Yes. A tie is a very important part of formal dressing for every man. Yes, superb. Yes. Kamaridi, Vinjam, and Sama. Yes, Kanchala also. Okay, Kanchala to the previous, yes. Come on, guys. I want most of you to participate by posting your answers. I understand because most of the questions are repetitive. You can easily try them out, okay? Just for the sake of practice, for the sake of registering in the answers in your brains much faster, okay? with regard to aptitude, reasoning, and verbal ability, it's only the practice that makes you more confident. Remember that, okay? Yes, the error lies in part C of the sentence, for every man. Remember, after every, we must always use singular of the noun. We never use the plural of the noun here. So it's supposed to be men is plural, it should be man, for every man. So the error is in part C of the sentence. Moving on to next question. In the film fraternity, there are many people who likes to be in the limelight. Again, this question is also based on spotting the error. This is a pretty well-known question for us. Okay, in the film fraternity, there are many people who likes to be in the limelight, but many just want to stay away from any kind of controversy. So which part do you think has error? Part A, part B, or part C? Superb, superb. It's only 3 people who are posting the answers. Sama, Vinjaman, Kamaredi. How about the rest of you? I want the rest of you also to come online and post your answers. Yes, the error is in part B. Wonderful, part B. It is not who likes, it should be people who like. People is plural, therefore it should be who like, it is not who likes. Moving on to next question. Yes, even though the region was prone to hurricanes, the dash of the tornado last year was dash. So there are 2 blanks in the statement. You need to fill in the 2 blanks with the suitable options given on the right side. Even though the region was prone to hurricanes, the dash of the tornado last year was dash. Okay, the levity, the lethal, the impact, the awesome, the impact of the tornado last year was awesome. No. Inevitability, mercurial, ferocity, and unprecedented. The perfect answer, what do you think fits in best here in these options? A, B, C, D. Come on, guys, make a guess. I think over the last couple of days, we haven't had this question, but this is probably for the first time in the last few days, but we discussed it in the previous material. I'm sure all of you know this. Even though the region was prone to hurricanes, the dash of the tornado last year was dash. Any answers? Fantastic, Thadigatla, very good. Very good, Basam. Fantastic, fantastic. Yes, perfect answer is option D, ferocity and unprecedented. Even though the region was prone to hurricanes, the ferocity of the tornado last year was unprecedented. Ferocity means severity. Severity ante dani udruta. Okay, dani severity, dani intensity chala ekkuva undi. Tornado. Tornado is nothing but the cyclone. India cyclone ante America lo vatte tornadoes antam. Last year was unprecedented. Unprecedented ante ఇంతకుముందు ఎప్పుడు లేనంత విభత్సం సృష్టించింది అని అర్థం. ఇంతకుముందు ఎప్పుడు జరగనటువంటి విషయాన్ని we say unprecedented. So the perfect answer here is option D. Moving on to next. This is pretty popular. Months have passed and no action dash being taken for a dowry harassment case filed against the in-laws. Yes, it's pretty well known. So option is option A, has been taken. Moving on to next question. Garima said, there are so many people in the house. I wonder who ate the ice cream. Garima is dash. Doubtful, amazed, shocked, worried. She's doubtful. Yes. Option A. Yes. She wonders. I wonder who ate the ice cream. Garima is doubtful. She is doubtful who ate it. Okay. So option A is the correct answer. It's been ticked there already in the screenshot. Yes, next one. Universal opposite. You need to find out the opposite for the word universal. Earthly, ethereal, cosmic, and local. Fantastic. I think this question appeared a couple of days back. You can clearly get this. So universal opposite is local. Moving on to next question. Torture opposite. Torture. Friendly, generous, polite, aid. Torture. Yes, fantastic. Option A, friendly. torture friendly. Okay, yes, no problem. Option A. Stratosphere paragraph. We'll check this paragraph in the paragraph section, passage section. Okay, let me move on to the next question. Just stay on. I'll share the next screen with you. Yes. I did not go to school in a week after an accident. Okay. So you need to replace the word in with one of the prepositions on the right side. Yes. Yes, yes, for a week. Yes, this is a repeated question. Since the questions, if it is a repeated questions, we'll pick quite faster so that you can easily get acquainted with. Yes, next one is Microsoft created revolution dash making the personal computer affordable for the middle class. Following, after, by, through. Yes, Microsoft created revolution by making the personal computer affordable to the middle class. Moving on to next question. Spotting the error. Indrani was catched guilty of copying her colleague's work, no error. So which part of the error sentence has the error here? Indrani was catched guilty of copying her colleague's work, no error. Yes, absolutely. The error is in part A of the sentence. Indrani was catched. Catched is wrong. It should be caught. Catch, second form, third form, and D. Catch, caught, caught. So it should be Indrani was caught. It's not catched. So the error is very obvious, very clear here. The error is in part A of the sentence. Moving on to next. Sediments dash the footprints of moving animals when they become rocks. This helps geologists to find information about dinosaurs. Absolutely fine. Preserve, keep, take, etch. The perfect answer is preserve. Sediments preserve the footprints of moving animals when they become rocks. This helps geologists to find information about dinosaurs. Moving on to next passage. Sorry, next question. Spotting the error here. She decided to go to UK for her higher studies. So which part of the sentence has the error? Yes. Fantastic. It's not she decide. She decides. Later she decided. Okay. So the error is in part A of the sentence. She decided or she decides. So part A has the error. Moving on to next question. You can go to school tomorrow and decide whether you want to participate in the annual function or not. So which part of the sentence has the error? Most of these questions are repetitive. It is not TOO, it should be TO2. Decide whether you want to. TOO2 should be replaced with TO2. Well done, very good. Next, moving on to next question. The boss was unsure as to what triggered the argument between Sham and Shankar. The word triggered should be replaced with one of the options on the right side. Okay, more in the positive sense. Spread, broke, halted, or provoked. Absolutely. Provoked is a perfect answer here. The boss was unsure as to what triggered or as to what provoked. Provoked means provoked the argument between Sham and Shankar. Moving on to next question. Surprisingly, Manipur received scanty rainfall this year. Scanty should be replaced with one of the options on the right side. Rare, heavy, little, scattered. Surprisingly means this itself talks about there is something rare which is not supportive. Okay, so little. Rare, little is the correct answer, not rare. Check out. Now I was talking about chala rare ga jarige vishayam ikkada ane ardhamlo undi ani cheptunanu ante gaani it's not about rare. Okay. Surprisingly, Manipur received scanty rainfall this year, means little rainfall this year. Moving on to next question. Neglected opposite. You need to find out the opposite of the word neglected. Shabby, nurtured, unlike, pleasant. Fantastic, fantastic. Option B is perfect. Nurtured. Neglected means వదిలేయటం, పట్టించుకోకపోవడం, nurtured, to take the best care, uncared, cared. Moving on to the next question. Accentuate opposite of the word accentuate. Exaggerate, increase, suppress, low. Accentuate means to push, to increase. Actually, that's the meaning, but the opposite here is suppress. Yes, option C is a perfect answer. Yes, here we have this paragraph. We'll discuss the passages later. Yes, let me stop this screen and moving on to next paper. Next paper, just 1 second. I'll share the screen with you. Yes. Check out. Shalini win the race. So you need to find out the error on this in this question. Actually, the sentence is cut into 3 parts, split into 3 parts. Part A, Part B, and Part C. You need to find out the error here. Shalini was win the race as she practiced too hard for the tournament. Yes, answers are really active. Fantastic, fantastic. The error is in part A of the sentence. Win the race is wrong. Should be Shalini won the race. Moving on to next question. I did not go to school in a week. This we already completed, I think, in this session itself for a week. Yes. Moving on. It have been ages since I played the guitar. No error. So which part of the sentence has the error here? It has been ages since I played the guitar. No error. It have been a. Yes, the error is very obvious here clearly. Am I right or not? It have been. Can we say it have been? It should be. It has been. Yes, we never say it have been. I have been, you have been, we have been. For plurals, we say have been. But for singulars, we use has been. It has been, it should be. It is, it have been. So the error is in part A of the sentence. The answer is option A. Moving on to next question. Sita has a hobby of writing poems whenever she had been free and in the mood of writing. So which part of the sentence has the error here? Yes, part B. I think this question appeared yesterday also in the discussion, right? So part B has error. Whenever she had been free should be replaced with whenever she is free. Okay, she is free. It's not she had been free. Option B has the error. Moving on to next question. Inflation can be dashed only if people limit their consumption, which will in turn reduce the demand of products. Superb. Superb. Inflation can be reduced only if people limit their consumption, which in turn reduce the demand of the products. So the correct answer is option C. Well done, well done, well done. Well answered. Yes, again spotting the error. You can go to school tomorrow and decide whether you want to participate. It's already given here. I think this question has been repeated in today's session itself. So the error is in part B of the sentence. Yes, next one. He lost all the money in gambling primarily because of his avarice. You need to find out the meaning of the word avarice, which has been highlighted in the sentence. Avarice. Yes. Fantastic, fantastic. Yes, avarice, greed, negligence, foolishness, or luck. So the perfect meaning for avarice is greed. Okay, next one. Sorry. Eminent opposite. You need to find out the eminent for opposite for the word eminent. Eminent means superior, great. Okay, that's the meaning. So opposite is inferior actually. Okay, inferior, created, or prestigious, important. Eminent actually means prestigious, important. That's the meaning. But the opposite is inferior. Perfect. Option A. Moving on to next question. Veteran opposite. You need to find out the opposite word for the veteran. Old, inexperienced, expert, or unexperienced. Veteran means expert. Opposite is inexperienced. Option B. Perfect. So So since the late 1970s. Fine. This brings us to the end of this paper. Well, guys, I think we have completed discussing all 20 papers exclusively based on WIPRO. Yes, now let us move on to the next section for WIPRO preparation. That's on discussing passages. Okay, passages with questions. Am I clear? Are you guys ready? That's a little longer one. In fact, I've got more than 30 passages to be discussed. And if you get through all these things, some passages are repetitive, some questions are repeated, just like the material that we have discussed. But even if they are repetitive, you'll be sportive enough to answer. Do listen to them. Probably passage reading and answering might be a slightly boring for you because it's like one person keeps reading and you need to listen. But let us understand, and most of the questions will be repetitive. But as you do that, you'll get much more experience. In the sense, you register all the questions. So by the end of the training is over, you must have all the answers at the tips of your fingers, at the tip of your tongue, at the tip of your fingers. That's my intention. Okay, let's get acquainted ourselves. I've got around 30 passages with questions and answers. Okay, stay tuned. I'll share the next presentation. Yes, probably I'll take the help of some of you people because anyway, first a couple of passages I'll read, and probably after the second or third onwards, I'll give a chance for you also to read so that I need not strain much of my throat because I keep on taking. And seriously speaking, right now we are engaging more than 6 hours of training. Okay, almost 1.5 hour for you, 1.5 hour for ECE, and again 1.5 hour to another 3 hours of training extra for your third years. So it's like a 6 hours of training at a stretch we are taking. So sometimes you might get strained out. I'll make sure that I'll try to maintain the same energy levels as I have it for the first session till the last. But probably reading a passage, probably I'll take some of your help so that I can also accentuate you. I can also make you more active in participating in the class. First passage, first couple of passages, I'll read it for you. Just do listen to me, okay? I'll share the passage for you, screen with you. Yes, can you see the screen here? Is the passage visible for all of you? Good, good, good. Let's go ahead. This is a passage on fasting, okay? Fasting is an act of homage to the majesty of appetite. So I think we should arrange to give up our pleasures regularly, our food, our friends, our lovers, in order to preserve their intensity and the moment of coming back to them. For this is the moment that renews and refreshes both oneself and the thing one loves. Sailors and travelers enjoyed this once, and so did hunters. I suppose part of the weariness of modern life may be that we live too much on top of each other and are entertained and feel too regularly. Once we were separated by hunger, both from our food and families, and then we learned to value both. The men went off hunting, and the dogs went with them. The women and children waved goodbye. The cave was empty of men. This is the situation we are talking about, the caveman time, the early times of human race. Okay, so how people used to depend only on eating the flesh of animals, the meat. Okay, there was no vegetarianism actually. There might have been, but more on the flesh. The hunting has to be done, and the killed animals had to be eaten in those days. So the people used to, the man along with his wife and kids, they used to wait in the caves. They used to live in caves. The cave was empty of men for days on end. Nobody ate and knew what to do. The women crouched by the fire, the wet smoke in their eyes. The children wailed. Wailed అంటే ఏడవటం. పిల్లలు ఏడ్చారు, ఆడవాళ్ళు అయితే అలా కూర్చునే వాళ్ళు అలా కళ్ళలో పొగలు పెట్టుకుని అన్నట్టుగా, అంటే అంత భయంగా. Remember, ఒకసారి imagine all these paragraphs. I am really fascinated by these paragraphs that I keep reading for you. In fact, because whenever we are reading a paragraph, that completely takes me to that imagination. It moves like a picture before my eyes. Now we are surrounded by so many comforts in life. Okay, a lot of internet, the era of IT. Okay, the entire world is being stormed by technology. But imagine how early man was hunting for food, and how his posterity, how his family, like wife and growing. The women crouched by the fire. So ala mantesu kuchina vallu ladies aide, and wet smoke in their eyes. The children wailed, everybody was hungry. Then one night there were shouts and the barking of dogs from the hills. And the men came back loaded with meat. Great reunion. And everybody gorged themselves silly, and appetite came into its own. The long-awaited meal became a feast to remember and an almost sacred celebration of life. Now we go off to the office and come home in the evenings to chicken and frozen peas. So the writer is trying to compare how the old man, the cavemen lived, and how we are living in the present day. We go to office and come back from office in the evenings and eat only cheap chicken and frozen peas and frozen meat in the fridge. Okay, very nice, but too much of it, too easy and regular, served up without it. We eat, we are lucky, our faces are shining with fat, but we don't know the pleasure of being hungry anymore. Too much of anything, too much music, entertainment, happy snacks, or time spent with one's friends creates a kind of impotence of living by which one can no longer hear or taste or see or love or remember. Life is short and precious, and appetite is one of its guardians, and loss of appetite is a sort of death. So if we are to enjoy the short life, we should respect the divinity of appetite and keep it eager and not too much blunted. And the question is, what is the author's main argument in the passage? Check out all the 4 options. The olden times, when the roles of men and women were clearly divided, were far more enjoyable than the present time. There's not enough effort required anymore to obtain food, and hence the pleasure derived is not the same. People who don't have enough to eat enjoy life much more than those who have plentiful. We should deny ourselves pleasures once in a while in order to whet our desires and feel more alive. Yes. So this is the perfect answer, option D, because the author is make the argument in the passage that sometimes మనం ఒక్కొక్కసారి కొన్ని సందర్భాల్లో మనకున్నటువంటి సుఖాలన్నిటి మధ్య మనకి నిజంగా ఫుడ్ యొక్క వాల్యూ, లేకపోతే సంతోషం యొక్క వాల్యూ, మన లవ్డ్ వన్స్, ఓకే, మన ఆప్తుల యొక్క వాల్యూ మనకు తెలియటం లేదు. But sometimes we should stay away from all our loved ones so that we'll get that feeling of getting back to them, how much we want to get back to them. Okay, sometimes we must stay hungry to feel and value the food that we are eating. So that's what, okay, we should deny ourselves. Deny means we should stay hungry, we should stay away from ourselves pleasures once in a while in order to whet our desires and feel more alive. So option D. Next question, what commonality has been highlighted between the sailors and hunters? So what is common between sailors and hunters as per the paragraph passage? So perfect answer here is option C. They were regularly separated from their loved ones and things they liked. Naturally, hunters used to go, leaving their husband and their wife and kids in the caves. They used to go to into the forests and the hills to get some meat for them, okay, food for them. Similarly, sailors also do the same. Okay? The sailors also go on ships for years together, staying away from their family members, from their wife and children and the loved ones. Okay, so that's a commonality between the hunters and the sailors. Option C. Next question, what are the benefits of fasting? It is an act against the drawbacks of appetite. It brings joy in eating, and one learns to appreciate food. It is the method to understand how civilization evolved. It is punishment for the greedy and unkind. The perfect answer is option B, because the benefits of fasting is we will learn, once we fast, we learn to appreciate the food, okay, and we enjoy eating also. నిజంగా చెప్తున్నా, బాగా ఆకలిగా ఉన్నప్పుడు, బాగా కాలినప్పుడు మనకి ఏది పెట్టినా తినేస్తాం కదా, పచ్చడి మెతుకులు కావచ్చు, లేకపోతే ఏదైనా సరే, like we don't care for that. But especially how many of us really eat after feeling hungry? Maybe rarely, but not regularly. Most of the times, once it is time, like morning 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, I need breakfast. When it's usual, I'm talking about my own lifestyle. Before 8:30, I need to complete. Even if I feel hungry or not, I need to eat it because my office starts. And again, by 12:30, I need my lunch. Whether I feel or hungry or not, it doesn't matter. By 12:30, I need to eat something. So again, around evening around 7 o'clock again, I feel like eating something. So that's how it goes. But most of the times we don't feel to appreciate the value of food. So let us stay fast sometimes. I think that is the reason why this religious people, all this, our elders have put these religious conditions like fasting for God. Okay, upasam cheyadam Kartika masalo gani lekapothe వేరు డిఫరెంట్ పండుగల టైంలో ఫాస్టింగ్ చేయడం వల్ల పుణ్యం వస్తుందని పెద్దోళ్ళు అందుకే పెట్టారు. ఫాస్టింగ్ చేయడం వల్ల ఫుడ్ యొక్క వాల్యూ మనకు తెలియని మాత్రం అలా పెట్టుంటారు. ఓకే, ఆల్రైట్. Next question is, the long-awaited meal became a feast to remember and an almost sacred celebration of life. What does this line imply? Option B, people respected and were thankful for getting food after days of being hungry and also being united with their loved ones. All right. So second paragraph, will someone read for me? Who wants to read? You may say, sir, I'll read it. You can post a comment here. Someone would like to volunteer to read the passage for me? I'll make you the presenter. Nobody? Oh God, what's happening? చదువు పెరుగుతుంది, ట్రైనింగ్ పెరుగుతుంది, మీలో కాన్ఫిడెన్స్ పెరుగుతుంది, ఇన్ని పెరిగినా సరే ఇంకెక్కడికి పోతున్నా మీ స్పోర్టివ్ స్పిరిట్? అదే చదువున్నప్పుడు ఇది అంటారు కదా, ఎస్, చదువు పెరిగే కొద్ది మీలో నీరసం వచ్చేస్తుంది. క్విక్, హూ వాంట్స్ టు రీడ్? కాకాని రెడీ? మిస్ కాకాని? Or anybody else? What is wrong with CSE, man? Okay, then if you're not reading, I'll read it for you. Choice is yours, quick. Are you there? At least say hi. Forget about reading, I'll read it for you, no problem. Just say hi, because this long silence makes me feel that you guys are sleeping or just threw your books away and just relaxing. Books away mean your devices. Hello. Fine. And making things much easier for you. Yes, this passage, environmental toxins which can affect children are frighteningly commonplace. Besides lead, there are other heavy metals such as mercury, which is found frequently in fish, that are spewed into the air from coal-fired power plants, says Maureen Swanson, MPA, director of the Healthy Children Project at the Learning Disabilities Association of America. Mercury exposure can impair children's memory, attention, and language abilities and interfere with the fine motor and visual spatial skills. A recent study of school districts in Texas showed significantly higher levels of autism in areas with elevated levels of mercury in the environment. Researchers are finding harmful effects at lower and lower levels of exposure, says Swanson. They are now telling us that they don't know if there is a level of mercury that's safe. Unfortunately, some of these chemicals make good flame retardants and have been widely used in everything from upholstery to televisions to children's clothing. Studies have found them in high levels in household dust as well as in breast milk. Some categories of these flame retardants have been banned in Europe and are starting to be banned by different states in the United States of America. The number of toxins in our environment that can affect children may seem overwhelming at times. On at least some fronts, however, there is progress in making the world a cleaner place for kids and just possibly reducing the number of learning disabilities and neurological problems. With a number of efforts to clean up the environment stalled at the federal level, many state governments are starting to lead the way. And rather than tackle one chemical at a time, at least 8 states are considering plans for comprehensive chemical reform bills, which would take toxic chemicals off the market. Questions? Beside lead, there are other heavy metals such as mercury, which are found frequently in fish that are spewed into the air from coal-fired power plants. How can this line be worded differently? Option B, besides lead, fish contains mercury, which is heavy metal ejected in the air from power plants using coal. Yes, option B is the perfect answer. Next one. On at least some fronts, however, there is progress in making the world a cleaner place for kids and just possibly reducing the number of clear learning disabilities and neurological problems. What front is being referred to? Option C, I'm directly talking about the answer, or you want me to read all the 4 answers? You can read it for yourself. There's nothing much wrong. The video is available in the channels also, okay? More and more states are joining the 2 states in Europe and various states in America that have already banned harmful chemicals. Next question. All these are harmful effects of mercury in the children except dash, except driving skill. So except driving skill, the rest of the skills are affected by mercury, like attention, yes, neurological problems, language learning problems, all of them are affected except driving skills. That does not affect any driving skills. Yes, researchers are finding harmful effects at a lower level of exposure. How can this line be interpreted? So researchers are finding harmful effects at a lower level of exposure. So even a little exposure can cause harm. Option D. You guys are there? Just say hi. Or sleeping? You can relax, but don't sleep. Yes, yes, yes. Next paragraph. Anyone would like to volunteer to read it? Unmute yourself. Abhijit, are you ready? Mr. Abhijit. Okay. All right, then forget about people power, but yeah, fine anyway. Let me not take class right now. Give people power and discretion, and whether they are some will use their position to enrich themselves. Yes, because of connectivity issue, I got disconnected. Now I got reconnected. Let's get back. So give people power and discretion, whether they are grand visors or border guards. Some will use their position to enrich themselves. The problem can be big enough to hold back a country's development. For most people in the world, though, the worry is not that corruption may slow down their country's GDP growth. It is that their daily lives are pervaded by endless hassles, big and small. And for all the evidence that some cultures suffer endemic corruption while others are relatively clean, attitudes towards corruption and even the language describing bribery is remarkably similar around the world. In a testament to most people's basic decency, bribe takers and bribe payers have developed an elaborate theater of dissimulation. This is not just to avoid detection, even in countries where corruption is so common as to be unremarkable and on the prosecutor. And even when the transaction happens far from snooping eyes, bribe is almost always dressed up as some other kind of exchange. Though most of the world is plagued by corruption, even serial offenders try to conceal it. One manifestation of this is linguistic. Surprisingly, few people say, "You're going to have to pay me if you want to get that done." Instead, they use a wide variety of one type of quasi-official terminology is the term widely used at border crossing is expediting fee. Expediting fee means something which is used which is used as a legal term. But seriously speaking, they don't say. I had the experience. In fact, once I in fact went to Nepal. So at the border of India and Nepal, there was what you call Bihar. At the Bihar border, and to enter into Nepal, they never gave us any receipt. So it was not legal, and they called it expediting fee, for which they never paid. They never gave any legal receipt. Okay, which means that's one kind of a bribe. For an euphemism, it is surprisingly accurate. Paying it will keep your bags and perhaps your contraband from being into a floor and shifted through at a leisurely pace. A related term used in India is speed money. So another for bribe in India is speed money. Paying it can get essential business permits issued considerably faster. Type of euphemism dresses up a dodgy payment as a friendly favor done by the bribe payer. There is scopes. Nigerian policemen are known to ask for a little something for the weekend. So Nigerian policemen use the title called little something for the weekend for the bribes they accept. Okay. Mexican traffic police will suggest that you buy them as well as Angolan and Mozambican petty officials who call it a gazebo in Portuguese. So in Mexico, they call it fresco, to buy a drink, which is not gazebo, which is a Portuguese language, which is nothing but bribe. Double meaning can help soothe the awkwardness of bribe paying. Bakshis, or now found in many countries of the Middle East, can mean tip, bribe. So they use a word called bakshis also. In Kenya, a machine gun wielding guard suggested to a terrified Canadian aid worker, "Perhaps you would like to discuss this over chai." The young is all some chai, which means both avoidance of physically handing the money from one person to another. So physically handle or hand over the money, but they use different kind of things like, let's discuss this over the tea. They say, buy me a drink. Some people would say, little something for the weekend. So different words are used, but ultimately it's the same. It's bribe. Then one obvious reason to which is why bribes are known as envelopes in countries from China to Greece. So from China to Greece, they use a word called envelopes to refer to the word bribe. But avoidance of a direct handover is common even where there is no chance of detection. There will always be some officials who will take money right from a bribe payer's hands, but most seem to prefer to find some way to hide the money from view. Rich Westerners may not think of their societies as plagued by corruption, but the definition of bribery clearly differs from person to person. A New Yorker might pity the third world businessman who must pay bribes just to keep his shop open. But the same New Yorker would not think twice about slipping the $1.50 to sneak into a nice restaurant without a reservation. Poor people the world over are most infuriated by the casual corruption of the elites rather than by the underpaid tip-seeking soldier or functionary. Thus, there is no single culture factor that inclines a society towards corruption, but economic factors play a big part. Most clearly, poverty and bribery go together. Questions? What could be the meaning of the word dissimulation as can be inferred from the context it is used in the first line of the passage? Yes, dissimulation means hypocrisy. Okay, an intention to cheat, an intention to hide things, hide the truth and say something like, okay, that's called hypocrisy. Yes, I have highlighted here once again. What is the author most likely to agree to? Okay, so options. People generally do not try to hide money taken as bribe. So what is the author likely to agree to? So he would agree with option C. Okay, people hide money taken as bribe from you even if detection possibility is low. Okay, they don't want it to be seen, or they don't want it to be known by others. So therefore they use different views, or they use different ways to take bribe, accept bribe from others. Okay. Yeah, next one is, what best represents the author's attitude towards the rich people in the West? Okay, so what is the attitude of the author towards the rich people in the Western countries? Appreciative, mildly critical, or heavily critical, or mildly appreciative? Okay, so it is mildly critical. So the author is criticizing the rich people's approach in tips in the Western countries. Fine, friends. We'll stop the session today. It's already 5:20, I think. Before I'll stop it, because we happen to discuss today almost 3 papers and 3 passages for today's session. Tomorrow we'll complete the rest of the passages. I've got around some 30 passages here. So we'll try to discuss one by one. Very, very important, because most of the what you call emphasis, not only WIPRO has given at least not one passage. There are 2 passages in each paper. So passage reading makes a very significant part of the training. So get ready. This, of course, most of these papers will be shared with you soon once it is done. I'll also share the entire papers with you before probably a couple of days before the exams. Sorry, not the exams, before the original test begins. Okay, get ready for that. Thank you. Then have a great day. I'll see you with more energy in tomorrow's session. Bye bye.